Thinking about how to create differentiated and defensible organic customer acquisition strategies. I think that's a great question. I think it's not just organic. I think like any strategy a company is thinking about, like you need to be thinking about how you stand out in a very, very, very crowded market for most people. If you're playing in any sort of like SaaS market for the most part, you're almost guaranteed a ton of competition, a ton of folks who are already incumbents, already have the brand. They're already sort of the category leader. And so then the question really is like, how are you going to stand out? How are you going to be different? It almost becomes like a product marketing question at its base. It becomes a question of what do you stand for? And if I were to share maybe your landing page or your excerpt with somebody who's already familiar with the incumbent, would they immediately understand why you're different from the incumbent? The company really needs to have that figured out before they can kind of expand from there. Because otherwise, what's going to end up happening is you're going to just start sounding exactly like the big dogs, and you're essentially going to be hitting the same channels as them with a lot less money and resources. And so you're going to just be drowned out and you're going to sound like noise. And so I would definitely start with like good foundational product marketing and just figuring out, okay, why is this product different? And it's fine, even if your product is just like, hey, we're Salesforce for X or Intercom for Y or HubSpot, but that's completely fine. But you do need that kind of like, hey, we're different from the incumbents. I think once you have that in place, then you can actually start investing in customer acquisition. You can use that line in terms of your outbound as well, trying to figure out who are the incumbents failing at serving and going after that niche first. Um, I think in terms of other organic channels from things like social posting from your website, you just want to focus on things that the incumbents are not focused on. So for example, in our case at Letterdrop, we're not going to go compete head on with HubSpot on what all the sort of like inbound marketing stuff that HubSpot is already really good at. We need to compete on things from an SEO perspective, at least on the stuff that HubSpot is overlooking, on the stuff that they don't really talk about. And so we talk about things like our Webflow integration, or we talk about how people can do internal linking for certain types of platforms. Or we talk about how Google is changing with SG. And I used to be a product manager on the search team at Google, so I can very uniquely talk about some of those kinds of things. So instead of trying to just answer like what is content marketing, we instead try to go after the things that are overlooked by others. And if you can find things that are overlooked by HubSpot, believe me, you can find something that's overlooked by other companies as well.